Part 18. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 171. Use the Bone Dragon Knight Legion card. Fang Fan resolutely gave a soft drink. Ding. The Legion card has been opened, and the Bone Dragon Knight Legion has appeared. Bone Dragon Knight Core, Evolvable. Level, 5 stars. Number, 18. Commander, Dragon Scale. Skills, Dragon Bloodline, Human Dragon Unity, Desperate Thrust. Loyalty, 80. Fang Fan's eyes suddenly lit up. It was actually a 5-star army. This really surprised him. The reward for slaughtering the 7-star Zombie King is indeed rich. Fang Fan is also a little fortunate that he used this Legion card in time. Dragon Scales see the Lord. The Bone Dragon Knight Legion led the Dragon Scales to the City Lord's mansion. As for his dragon and other Bone Dragon Knights, they were all arranged outside. Each Bone Dragon is more than 10 meters long. The City Lord's mansion can't hold it at all. Originally, Fang Fan thought that the Bone Dragon and the Bone Dragon Knight were 18 units. I didn't expect the system to directly bind the Bone Dragon and the Bone Dragon Knight into one unit. So this 5-star Bone Dragon Knight army has 18 Bone Dragons and 18 Bone Dragon Knights. All of them are 5-star grades. Fang Fan exhaled, secretly saying how cool it is. This time, the combat effectiveness of his legion has more than doubled. When the 7-star Zombie King was besieged before, if there was a Bone Dragon Knight army to help, it would not be so tragic. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth rose, and he stepped forward and patted Longscale's shoulder. Go down to the guard. Yamaer was also taken aback when such a large group of Bone Dragons and Bone Dragon Knights suddenly appeared. When she first saw it, she thought that some strange creature was going to attack the City Lord's mansion. My God! The Bone Dragon Knight Legion. It's on the top of the Legion's combat power list. Fang Fan. This is your new army. You are too strong. There are actually 5-star legions now. There are 4 4-star legions, and I only have 1 3-star legion, and I was crippled. Yamaer came over with her mouth pouted, and sighed that the gap between people is really too big. Can't compare to this pervert. Don't worry, a recruitment card can restore your Mayan female samurai army to its original state. With me here, are you still afraid that your legion will not be able to be promoted? You don't even look at who your man is. Fang Fan raised Yamaer's chin, touched the tender skin, and swallowed a mouthful of saliva subconsciously. This woman is charming in every word and deed. To say she is a fairy is an understatement. Humph. Dog man. Yamaer snorted softly, and Fang Fan took the opportunity to pull her over. The two hot hearts collided. Fang Fan couldn't help but feel a little dry. Don't. Seemingly sensing Fang Fan's wolfish gaze, Yamaer hurriedly avoided her, her beautiful face already flushed red. Fang Fan laughed a few times, put his hand between his nose and sniffed it. Fragrance continues. After the Zombie King in Guancheng was killed by Fang Fan, although the remaining millions of zombies had a strong lineup, they were actually nothing to worry about. Fang Fan plans to spend a few days to clean it up bit by bit. Let Guancheng become a highly concentrated war fortress. If there are survivors who come to seek refuge, some survivor bases can also be built around. But now it seems that there is no trace of normal humans around Guancheng. Lord, when we went to kill the zombies, an army kept snatching the zombies with us. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 172. Hans, the commander of the Gothic Laser Rifle Corps, stepped forward to report that, in their opinion, Guancheng is the master, and all the zombies are strategic resources, and they should also be theirs. They haven't left yet? Appearing as a system in my Guancheng territory, it's too much. Fang Fan frowned, This army is naturally the so-called Tang army before. Fang Fan didn't have much to do with the city before, so he didn't care about that. But now, he is the city lord of Guancheng. The army of 10,000 people is still killing zombies in Guancheng. What is the difference between invading his territory? Gather the 5 major legions and 5,000 zombie legions, and hand over their weapons in the past. Fang Fan snorted softly, so shameless. This city already has an ownership, and those people will not know it. After all, there are regular zombie legions guarding everywhere. But still knowingly committed the crime, this is clearly not taking his will into consideration. In this case, Fang Fan felt that he didn't need to give them any face. It's time to go, still go. This thing is so real. Young master, now Guancheng has been occupied by that Fang Fan, we led the army to kill zombies in Guancheng, isn't it a bit out of order? We have invaded their territory now. Occupied Guancheng. According to the scale of Guancheng's mid-city, they should have an army of 5,000 zombies. The attendant spoke cautiously. He felt that the matter was up for negotiation. They have become such ghosts, and there are only more than 10,000 left in the army of 50,000. It's time to go back and recuperate. Hee, do you think I'm really afraid of him? I just don't want to start a fearless war for our Tang country. But if that Fang Fan doesn't know how to praise, don't blame me. What happened to his territory? I didn't go to attack Guancheng again. Is it wrong for me to help them clean up zombies for free? It's fine if he doesn't come to thank me, but he dares to offend me? Do you really think that Tanguo is easy to deceive? Remember. Come 1, kill 1. Come 2, kill 1 pair. Always remember. You are Tang people. This is the glory that belongs to you only. Li Ji shouted a few times, and he felt that it was time to be a little louder. Otherwise, these people are really beautiful. Young master, we are surrounded by an army of zombies. Also, there are dragons, so many dragons. And demons, all rushing in. The messenger rushed over in a panic, and his words were full of anxiety. Dragon? Demon? What? Who dares to surround my army? Just looking for death. Li Ji snorted, murderous intent in his eyes. Those who invade the city must disarm. Disarm, live. Under Li Ji's horrified eyes, dozens of bone dragons with a length of more than 10 meters flew over, and the bone dragon knight on the back of the bone dragon held a loudspeaker and began to scream wildly. These are what Fang Fan taught them. Sending a powerful army of bone dragon knights to be a trumpet soldier, only he can do it. Disarm. Crazy. Fang Fan is a lunatic. Is he trying to declare war with our Tang kingdom? These nasty bone dragons, what new species? Damn it! Li Ji scolded, the humiliation suffered in the past 2 days has been enough. If even the weapons were surrendered, it would be a shame to throw home. Swear not to disarm. Fight to the death. Li Ji shouted firmly, he felt that he might not be invincible. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 173. That guy had an army of only a few dozen people. Even if he occupied Guancheng and obtained an army of 5,000 zombies, but so what? There are more than 10,000 elites under his command. There are 50,000 troops, and there are more than 10,000 left after being besieged and blocked by the zombies. These are the elites of the elites. Li Ji clenched his hands tightly, his head could be broken, and blood could flow, but he couldn't lose this momentum. Let everyone see his strong attack. He is from the Tang dynasty. It's Tang's pride. Young master, those dragons, dragons, are the Bone Dragon Knight Army. It is the 5-star army. It is the army under Fang Fan's command, and the army power list has just been updated. The attendant's eyes bulged, and he wanted to see a ghost. At this moment, the voice on his face became sharp. One can imagine the horror in his heart. He was really scared. Everything in front of me seems so unreal. 5-star Bone Dragon Knight Legion? Damn it! This must be a reward for slaughtering the Zombie King. Why is his luck so good all the time? Li Ji glanced at the huge bone dragon whizzing past his head, and the corners of his mouth twitched unnaturally. The 5-star Legion has broken through a limit to some extent. The most powerful one under his command is a 4-star Tiger and Leopard Cavalry Regiment, and there is one and only one. It's still an incomplete regiment. Li Ji's eyes glanced at the army behind him again, and his eye sockets couldn't help but sink extremely deeply. Damn it! One by one, like eggplants beaten by frost, is this still the absolute elite in his imagination? Elite, just like this? Li Ji took a deep breath, and his eyes showed extreme annoyance. Take such an army to collide with Fang Fan's 5-star army. Li Ji swallowed a mouthful of saliva. He seemed to be able to foresee what the outcome would be. Show them our position and identity. I am the young master of Tang. If you are disrespectful to me, you are declaring war on Tang. Li Ji roared. He needs to try his best to increase his chips. At this moment, Fang Fan had already brought his army, surrounded by the army of 5,000 zombies, to Li Ji. Guancheng is my territory now. Do you want to start a war when you trespass on my territory? Fang Fan stepped forward and looked at this arrogant young man. This is the third meeting between Fang Fan and Li Ji. For the first time, Li Ji looked at Fang Fan with contempt. The second time, it was helpless. The third time, it was resentment. Those unclean eyes were filled with infinite resentment. Do you dare to go to war with my Tang kingdom? Get out of the way, I'm going back to Tang with my army. Li Ji took a deep breath. He tried to use Tanguo to suppress Fang Fan. When Fang Fan heard Tanguo's words, he seemed more and more ponderous. If I remember correctly, there should be someone in your Tang country who is good at earth escape. He came to Zhongcheng a few days ago and wanted to recruit me, but I cut off an arm. Fang Fan said word by word. Li Ji's expression became more and more gloomy. It's Zhao Huo. You dare to kill my Tang envoy? Li Ji looked at the lunatic in front of him. Didn't he know how powerful Tanguo was? I'm not interested in knowing who he is, I just want to remind you of the consequences of resistance. It's okay to leave here. I'm not an unreasonable person, but all the armor and weapons have to stay here as the price of your invasion. Do you have any opinions? Fang Fan is straight to the topic. He doesn't want to be long-winded. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 174. Impossible. Your conditions are too rude. We can't promise you. My Tang army. Li Ji was contemplating, but the guards around him took a step forward unwillingly. Fang Fan waved his hand. Swoosh swish. Galen's sword has been shot, and several 4-star tigers and leopards have been killed. Li Ji body for a while, that is a 4-star tiger and leopard riding. The most elite existence in his hands. But in Fang Fan's hands, why is it like a plaything? How many stars is this strong man in silver armor next to him? Since he can kill the 4-star tiger and leopard rider in an instant, wouldn't it be easy to kill the more trashy self? Li Ji swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and there was a hint of fear in his eyes. Get out of the way, Tanguo can settle his quarrel with you and become your ally. I am willing to do my best to get you banned in Tang country. Let you enjoy the highest glory. Li Ji still didn't give up, he was still holding the air. And the conditions given made Fang Fan laugh and laugh even more. Do you still want to let labor and capital invest in Tang country? As far as the grudges between us are concerned, you can't be killed by you when you go to Tang country? Fang Fan glanced at Li Ji with contempt. This guy can't tell the situation clearly. I'll say it for the last time, take off your armor, put down your weapons, and you can get out. If you're going to grind again, just stay here. Fang Guan, Galen, in a minute, launch an attack. As long as there are pieces of armor on their bodies and pieces of iron in their hands, they will all be killed. Oh, by the way, collect all the magic crystals and cards on their bodies. These are obtained by killing the zombies in Guancheng. They belong to ill-gotten wealth. Well, they should also be turned over. Fang Fan rubbed his hands together with a look of joy on his face. He suddenly regretted coming over to disarm now. It should be a few days, when their pockets are bulging, and then come over to slaughter a wave of fat pigs. Fang Fan, you are bold. You really don't care about your own safety? Although you have some power, do you know that your power is not worth mentioning in front of the huge Tang kingdom? You are setting up an enemy for yourself. If you continue like this, you will be killed sooner or later. I advise you to take back what you just said. 50 seconds. 49 seconds. 48 seconds. Tisk, you just wasted another 10 seconds, your time is running out. Everyone obeys the order. When the time comes, attack me. Dragon Scale, let your Bone Dragon Knight army start the first wave of battle. I also want to test your combat effectiveness as a 5-star army. Fang Fan said a word, and the audience was shocked. Li Ji twitched his lips, he wanted to scold something, but he couldn't say it. And the soldiers under his hands have begun to quickly take off the armor and stomach. I won't take it off. I won't take it off. You bastards who are greedy for life and fear of death. Don't take it off for me. His guard came to help him get rid of his armor and stomach. Li Ji shouted sternly, but his body was very honest, and there was no sign of struggling. Yamair on the side was amused. This guy is too duplicitous. For that so-called face, I really do everything I can. The most important thing is, no one cares what he is saying at all. Well, this young Master Li, I am deeply moved by your indomitable spirit. Since you swear to death and don't want to disarm and disarm, I can help you clear the surrounding people. To preserve your loyalty. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 175. Fang Fan's words made Li Ziyan die. Now he is not shouting, nor is he not speaking, only the suffocation on his face is left. I won't let you go. Today's shame, Li Ji, wrote it down. Li Ji's chest trembled violently with excitement, and finally he was a bachelor. He took the initiative to take off the last golden silk soft armor. This is a big win. Collect countless. As for Li Ji and the others, they ran away with people in despair. My lord, we have seized 12,000 sets of armor and stomach. More than 15,000 pieces of weapons of all levels. In addition, there are more than 1.5 million magic crystals and 60,000 cards of various kinds. Eventually Garen came over and read the harvest statistics report. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth rose slightly. Tisk, very strong. Among these cards, there are actually only a dozen promotion cards, which should have just been consumed. Well, the 5-star weapon elf longbow. This is not bad, Meyer, yours. Fang Fan took the 5-star weapon and threw it to Yamair. According to the current situation, 2-star 3-star weapons are relatively common, and there are more 2-star 3-star zombies slaughtered. Of course, even if it is only a 2-star 3-star weapon, only some people with status are eligible to use it. For example, the weapon in Yamair's hand is a 3-star machete. And the 5-star weapon is almost the top end. For me? It's too precious. Yamei's two white and tender little hands waved in front of her, meaning that it was unacceptable. This little girl is still cautious at this time. You also have a share of the credit for these seizures. Your legion, didn't you also participate in the battle? It's considered a division of the spoils, it's divided. Fang Fan grabbed Yamei's little hand, dragged her over, and kissed the snow-white forehead in public. Rogue. Yamei's face turned red. The surrounding Gale Nans and others all turned their heads, and they all understood this hobby of their own masters. This is a recruiting card that will fill your Mayan female samurai army. Fang Fan delivered a recruiting card in the past. Although this special card is difficult to explode, a few cards can still appear from time to time. Thanks. Yamei did not refuse this time. For her, the soldiers of the Mayan female warrior legion were just like her relatives, and she did not want them to die for herself. Fang Fan sighed softly, but unfortunately, even if he used the recruiting card, the summoned one would be another soul body. Ding. To make the Samsung Legion full, you need 3 recruiting cards. When the sound of the system came, Fang Fan was stunned. Are there such rules? There are 2 recruiting cards here, use them together. Fang Fan squinted his eyes. His army had always been in a high state. Few were injured, and not many died. According to the system upgrade, a 1-star legion needs 1 recruiting card, and a 2-star legion needs 2, and so on. Fang Fan squinted. It seems that this recruiting card is very precious. In the future, when the level of the legion is improved, I am afraid it will become an extremely scarce strategic resource. After all, who can guarantee that the legion under his command will not be damaged? As long as the legion commander is alive, the recruitment card can be used to recruit the full amount. Just imagine, is the high-level legion built with great effort, willing to be incomplete? So no matter how many magic crystals, they are willing to spend. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 176. Tisk, this is a business route, but it's a pity that there are too few recruiting cards. Fang Fan shook his head, not thinking much about this matter. Immediately sorted out the magic crystals and promotion cards on his body. Along the way, the income from slaughtering zombies, plus the income from robbing the Tang army, I have almost saved more than 4 million magic crystals, and about 300 promotion cards have been saved. More than 4 million magic crystals were all targeted to extract promotion cards, and a total of more than 900 cards were extracted. So Fang Fan now has more than 1,000 promotion cards in his hand. It looks like a lot, but for him, it can't improve his combat power at all. The promotion of a 4-star legion to a 5-star legion requires at least 10,000 promotion cards. The promotion of 5-star legion to 6-star, it all started with 100,000 promotion cards. Others may think that Fang Fan's wealthy eyes are sky high, but only he himself understands that he is a big poor man. With a few big stomach kings, he is also very helpless. Okay. Fang Fan, why are you being so nice to me? In the city lord's mansion, Yamei winked like silk. It's a 5-star elf bow again, and it's a recruiting card, which makes Yamei still difficult to let go. She felt that she owed more to Fang Fan, and she was like a burden. Tisk, labor and capital equip their women, who dares to say nonsense? Fang Fan subconsciously took Yamei into his arms. Looking at everything that was white and tender, his mood was a little agitated. Before being immersed in killing zombies, Fang Fan had no time to take care of him. But now that he was suddenly idle, Fang Fan's heart began to jump again. Beauty is in front, winking like silk. Fang Fan's body gradually pressed down, and Yamaer's beautiful eyes began to tremble slightly. All night. In the morning, another beautiful day. Fang Fan showed an evil smile on the corner of his mouth and dragged Yamaer out of the bed. Your flattery, you can only show it to me in the future. Fang Fan kissed domineeringly until he felt suffocated. Humph. Rogue. Abnormal. Yamaer rolled her eyes at Fang Fan, but her heart was filled with infinite sweetness. I just felt a little pain when I got up and walked. I'm going back to Zhongcheng today, will you go back with me? Fang Fan glanced at Yamaer and asked for her opinion. No, I want to go back to Shuyang City. I haven't gone back for so long. My father and my elder brother should be anxious. Yamaer shook her head, this is a woman who cares for her family. Fang Fan nodded and said nothing more. This is 1,200 promotion cards. Let your Mayan female samurai army be promoted to a 4-star army. Fang Fan brought a stack of promotion cards. More than 1,000 promotion cards are meaningless to him now, and letting Yamaer be promoted to her own army can also give her a guarantee. I don't want it. You don't think I'm with you, just for these things. Yamaer bit her lip and looked at Fang Fan stubbornly, 2 lines of clear tears flowing down slowly. Fang Fan sighed lightly, why is this silly woman so thoughtful? Where did you go? How could I have such thoughts? I'm not by your side, you need a strong army to protect you. If your legion is not promoted to 4-star, then I will assign a 4-star legion to protect you. My woman, there can be no mistakes. Fang Fan took Yamaer into his arms and whispered softly. The voice was very soft, but Yamaer felt an infinite sense of tyranny. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 177. Humph. Savage Dog Man. But I like it. Yamaer smiled softly, she knew that her rejection was meaningless. This dog man will always do everything in his power to make her compromise. Ding. Using 1,200 promotion cards, the 3-star Mayan female samurai army was promoted to the 4-star Mayan female samurai army. The Legion Combat Power List. First place, Bone Dragon Knight Legion, 5-star level, Commander Fang Fan. Second place, Unicorn Legion, 4-star level, Commander Fang Fan. Third place, Demon Legion, 4-star level, Commander Fang Fan. Fourth place, Gothic Laser Rifle Corps, 4-star level, Commander Fang Fan. Fifth, Vampire Baron Legion, 4-star level, Commander Kalen. Sixth, Saha Sharpshooter Legion, 4-star level, Commander Griffin. Seventh place, Tiger and Leopard Cavalry Corps, 4-star level, Commander Li Ji. Eighth place, Yellow Turban Commander Legion, 4-star level, Commander Fang Fan. Ninth place, Gargoyle Legion, 4-star level, Commander Ben Lafzun. 10th place, Mayan Female Warrior Army, 4-star level, Commander Yamaer. The Legion Battle Power List was refreshed again. Fang Fan took the opportunity to glance at it, but Yamaer's Mayan Female Warrior Legion was also on the list. Although it is only the last one, it is quite powerful. Know that this list is for the whole world. It's not just the survivors of Huajing. As expected, the 5-star Bone Dragon Knight Army occupies the first place with an invincible advantage, followed by the Unicorn Army, the Demon Army and the Gothic Laser Rifle Army. As for the Yellow Turban Commander Corps, it was slightly weaker, ranking 8th. Country M, a certain castle. Kalen looked at the 6,000 promotion cards she had worked so hard to accumulate. The devil knows how much effort she has spent to save this promotion card. She thought expectantly, she only needed to accumulate another 6,000 promotion cards, and she would be able to promote his 4-star Vampire Baron Legion to 5-star. In this way, she might be able to put her Vampire Baron Legion at the top of the list before the next Legion Battle Power ranking reward is issued. She thought about it in her heart, but the reality slapped her loudly. 5-star Bone Dragon Knight Army. Commander Fang Fan. Is this guy a pervert? Promoted again? Is there any more humanity? No. This is a brand new legion. It means that he has another powerful army under his command. Kaelin lowered her head and sighed in frustration. At this moment, she really wanted to give up her efforts. The harder you work, the lower the ranking. Sakura country. Bastard. There is only one legion in our great cherry blossom country. Shame. A great shame. High country. Fang Fan, a descendant of our Gao Kingdom bloodline, is strong. It seems that it is time for him to recognize his ancestors and return to his ancestry. Huajing, Tang Dynasty. Li Ji's face was so gloomy that he was about to drip. At this moment, he was standing in front of his grandfather, the lord of the Tang Kingdom. He looked at the old man in front of him, and his heart was filled with infinite killing intent. Grandpa. Fang Fan didn't take our Tang country in his eyes at all. He killed our Tang country's envoys. Let our Tang country's army disarm. These things are all humiliating to our Tang country. Grandson invites the battle, and leads the army of the Tang Kingdom to break through the Guancheng. Kill Zhongcheng. Expand the territory for our Tang Kingdom. Li Ji put on a golden armor again, and the armor on his body made a thumping sound, making him look quite imposing. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 178. Madness. This Fang Fan is not easy. I told you long ago. You are still too young at heart. You actually sent some messengers behind my back. And this Guancheng incident, Guancheng is an empty city, what's the value of taking it? As for Zhongcheng, it's too far from our border. Li Sui's eyes gradually became deeper. For his grandson, he was really disappointed. In the past, he thought that maybe Li Ji would be able to inherit his position, but now it seems that it is too far from the expected value. A man who gets carried away by anger is somehow unfit to be a ruler. Grandpa? That's all for my Tang country? A little Fang Fan dares to ignore my Tang country like this. Who else will be afraid of us in the future? I'm not convinced. I think it should be killed. Wash the shame with blood. Li Ji said loudly and forcefully that he was obviously not a person who was comfortable with typing. In his mind, there are deeper purposes and plans. The road ahead is destined to become ethereal. Don't talk about this. As for Zhao Huo's envoy Zhongcheng's broken arm, give him some compensation and make him shut up. Fortunately, the impact of this incident is not very big, and it is also an order from you, but it doesn't matter, / Tang Kuakuo Li Sui sighed lightly, and supported his forehead, finally suppressing the matter. But seeing Li Ji's extremely angry gaze, and thinking of the 10,000 Tang army being publicly disarmed, Li Sui couldn't help but reveal a killing intent in his eyes. If we want to destroy Zhongcheng, we don't have to do it ourselves. Don't Wei Guo have a deep hatred with them? And Chuyang City, you can also put in some effort. Don't always think about using force, sometimes it's more effective to use your brain. Separating from Yamire at the boundary of Chuyang City, Fang Fan directly led his army to Zhongcheng. It's been a few days since I left, and I don't know what's going on in Zhongcheng. Originally, Yamire wanted to invite Fang Fan into Chuyang City as a guest, but Fang Fan refused. Now in Chuyang City, I'm afraid no one will welcome him, right? As for the Chuyang City card branch, it has been operating as usual. In a few days, Chen Buletin will send someone to deliver the proceeds to Fang Fan. Chuyang City is a big city, the number of survivors is similar to that of Zhong City, and the income is not bad. The income of the two cities is quite considerable. Of course, the so-called considerable is also relative. For the average person, Fang Fan is definitely a day of gold, and his wealth is rolling in. But only Fang Fan knows how hard his life is now. I just got millions of magic crystals, and before I warmed up, I was replaced with a promotion card. With several big stomach kings, I can't afford to hurt. If you want to continue to implement the elite strategy, you naturally need to pay some price. Going all the way back to Zhongcheng, you will encounter sporadic zombie groups along the way, but the scale is very small. Gone are the scenes where thousands of zombies appeared together before. Fang Fan is also quite helpless. He has been running too diligently on this route recently, and those zombies have been slaughtered before they grow up. It is not wrong to say that zombies are strategic resources. Fang Fan is even thinking about whether to lure millions of zombies from other places to settle in Zhongcheng. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 179. Zhongcheng, the City Lord's Mansion. Lord City Lord, you can be considered to be back. Recently, Weiguo seems to have a tendency to use troops. I've been worried all day long. I'm afraid I'll betray the trust of Lord City Lord. Also, Lord City Lord, the envoy of Su country asked to see you. As soon as he entered the City Lord's mansion, Zhao Zhen came over. Now Zhao Zhen is the deputy City Lord of Zhongcheng. When Fang Fan has something to do, he is basically the agent of daily affairs. Emissary of Su country? Which Su country? What did you say? Fang Fan frowned. He had no memory of Su Guo. Su state is the Huajinghe kingdom that borders the south. After Zhao Zhen reminded him, Fang Fan understood everything. The southern country was destroyed, and it became a zombie paradise, and the zombie army in the southern country was already attacking all around. As the country of Su, which is adjacent to the southern country, naturally, it is equivalent to being burned on a fire. Although Fang Fan had sympathy for them, he would not act. Let him in. Fang Fan waved his hand and nodded. Meet City Lord Fang Fan, I am Su Mi, the messenger of the Su country. I came here today, one is asking for help, and the other is, I need to buy a lot of cards. This guy is direct and doesn't hide his purpose at all. Negotiating with this kind of thing, actually seems very easy. Ask for help? Let my army go to Su country to resist the southern army. Fang Fan's eyes rose slightly, not to mention the distance between Su Guo and Zhongcheng. Even if it is a nearby city, if there is no communication or friendship between us, will I choose to support it? Yes, City Lord Fang Fan, it is undeniable that the Su country is also an inseparable part of the Huajing. If the Su country is destroyed, it is also our Huajing people who suffer, isn't it? Of course, we will not let City Lord Fang Fan send troops in vain. We will pay all the military expenses required. My Su Qiaoguang invites the support of all the forces in China. If Huaguo is lucky enough to survive, we will only keep 3 medium-sized cities and above to maintain our foundation. All the remaining cities will be given to you as rewards. I also ask City Lord Fang Fan to think twice. Su Mi's words were astonishing, and Fang Fan was stunned for a moment. This Su Guo is such a great handwriting. Su Kingdom is also a relatively large Ho Kingdom. Zhao Zhen told him before, saying that there are 7 or more medium-sized cities, and as for the smaller cities, there are even more. Retaining 3 or more medium-sized cities means giving up all the remaining cities. Docking for survival? You must know that this is not a city like Guancheng where all the survivors have been wiped out, but a real city with survivors. Ding. It has been detected that the host has a strong power, and it is fully capable of opening the second branch. The main task second branch is opened. Task introduction, find a suitable big city and open the second branch. Success reward, recruiting cards are added to the daily series of cards. Mission failed, immediately deprive the host of an organ. Remarks, you are a lazy supplier, and you need to be reminded by the system every time to know how to make progress. At this time, there is a main quest suddenly, it seems a bit sour. But this quest reward, is indeed what Fang Fan imagined. The business opportunity of recruiting cards, he has seen it for a long time. And the explosion rate of the recruiting card is really too low, as long as it is added to the daily series of cards, there is no need to worry about no one cares. If you just continue to open branches, you need to choose another big city. The big city around here. Fang Fan's eyes couldn't help but glance at the envoy of Su country in front of him. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 180. Fang Fan once thought that this was arranged by the dog system. So savvy. Or it can be said to be too shameless. Shameless especially. Isn't this forcing labor and capital to move closer to Suguo? City Lord Fang Fan, the lord of my family has specially explained that if you are willing to personally support Suguo, I can give you one of the shura fruit, a specialty of Su country. Seeing Fang Fan's intentional expression, Su Mi hurriedly continued to increase his chips. Shura fruit? What? Fang Fan frowned, raised his head and glanced at Su Mi. There is a blood-colored shura tree in my country of Su. It was there after the end of the world. At that time, there was still a zombie king guarding there. Our country Su spent endless costs to kill that zombie king. A shura fruit will grow on the shura tree every 3 days. Those who take the shura fruit may activate the shura bloodline. This is an extremely powerful bloodline power. Our Su country already has young Junyan who has awakened the low-level shura bloodline, and the combat power is several times stronger than that of the awakened person of the same level. Su Mi's voice was seductive, Fang Fan's eyes narrowed slightly. To be honest, he was really moved. This kind of bloodline, it's weird. Zhao Yaxin had opened a sacred angel bloodline before, and his combat power had indeed improved a lot. And this Azura bloodline, sounds interesting too. As for the authenticity of the Azura tree Azura fruit, Fang Fan is not worried. Number 1 Suguo had no reason to cheat on this matter. Second, after the end of the world has indeed undergone many changes. I can lead my army to help Su, but I have one condition. I'm going to open a card shop branch in Sukuidu City. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth raised slightly, and his words were calm and calm. Open a branch of the card shop? Are you willing to open a branch of the card shop in our capital city of Su country? Is this true? Su Mi's hands trembled with excitement. This is a great thing. How can this be a condition? He has already experienced the magic of the card shop. As long as there are magic crystals, serum cards, healing cards, and even awakening cards are all available. And the distance between Zhongcheng and Su country is too far. If you can open a branch, doesn't it mean that people in the entire Su country can enjoy this kind of treatment nearby? So, this condition. Fang Fan smiled, but he could guess something about Su Mi's attitude. Promise. Promise. Must promise. City Lord Fang Fan, I agreed to this matter for the lord of my family. Not to mention one branch, even if it is 10 or 100, we Suguo are all waiting for you. Su Mi said very sincerely. Fang Fan smiled, opening 10 and 100? I don't have that many prep shopkeepers yet. Opening a card shop branch is not a game, but it is also risky. If it is set up in the city of the enemy, it is very likely that someone will give it a pot. When he was in Chuyang City before, Fang Fan specially left a 3-star army for Chen Bu. At that time, The Samsung Legion was already very powerful. By the way, City Lord Fang Fan, I came to Zhongcheng on this trip. One is to ask for help, and the other is to purchase a batch of cards. 200,000 healing cards. 20,000 serum cards. 2,000 awakening cards. There are also 100,000 black iron cards, 10,000 bronze cards, and 100 silver cards. Su Mi reported the number of cards he needed. Even if Fang Fan was used to big business, he couldn't help but look sideways.